Welcome to the Women Leading with Purpose Summit. I'm so excited to introduce you to our next speaker, Ral West. Ral has been a serial entrepreneur for over 40 years. She founded successful businesses, created a mastermind program, and is a best-selling author. She's going to be talking today about, yes, you really do deserve to run your business and enjoy your life of dreams. Ral, the stage is yours. I'm excited to hear what you have to share.
Thank you. So, as Linda said, yes, you really do deserve to run your business and enjoy the life of your dreams. I'm Ral West, and I've been a serial entrepreneur for 45 years. I grew up in Seattle, but I moved to Alaska in my 20s. I had been raised in an Alaska tourism family business, so it seemed like the natural thing for me to go north to find my fortune. And it was there that I started my first business in 1981. Soon after, I met my husband. He was in real estate, but he saw me flying off to Hawaii on business trips. Some of my clients were travel companies in Hawaii. So he started a business renting condos for Alaskans who owned vacation rental condos in Hawaii. He wanted free trips to Hawaii too. So I was his chief advisor for a while, but soon I joined him in this new business, and together we built it from nothing to 8 digits in annual revenue before selling it to Alaska Airlines. Now, like most entrepreneurs, we envision running our own business would give us all kinds of freedom. Freedom to live the way we want and to have the time to enjoy our lives. But in the early years, there was no freedom. We were married to the business. We were owned by it. We were stressed and overwhelmed and exhausted. It was a bad lifestyle, not healthy. We were eating junk food for dinner at the office, along with our grade school age daughter. This was not good. But our company was growing, and that was wonderful. But our growth was limited by our own capacities as the mom and pop. We were heavily involved in the day-to-day details of the business. We knew we needed to be able to scale, but to do that, we needed to find a different way to run the business. Our business was Hawaiian Vacations, based in Anchorage, Alaska. We primarily provided vacation packages to Hawaii to the people of Alaska. From simply renting vacation condos in Hawaii, we had grown the company into a full-fledged tour operator, selling complete vacation packages with rental cars, inter-island air, and even the air travel across the Pacific to Hawaii. We were buying airline seats from scheduled air carriers. But then they pulled out of the Alaska-Hawaii market. We were faced with a sudden drop in revenue. We had no product to sell. We were in dire straits. We were even using our personal credit cards to make payroll. So we were contemplating just shutting the business down. But we decided to keep going, to find a way. And we were resourceful. My husband found a plane that we could charter. It was a DC-8. Now, this was a huge risk. We had to pay a flat rate for this plane, whether we sold one seat or all of them. There were like over 200 seats. But backed by our sales data, we made the decision to take the leap. That first summertime charter series began our transformation into a scheduled charter airline. And so we chartered more and bigger planes, like wide body jets, like 767s. These charter flights created a dramatic growth trajectory. But this rapid growth created operational chaos. We were barely hanging on. And our customers were frustrated by our poor service. So this required a whole new way of operating. We set about learning how to be the owners of our business, not the operators. We turned to books and mentors. I went back to college. We studied and we implemented, and we learned what worked and what didn't. It took 5 years to get this fully implemented. But then we were able to step out and we began living the dream. We bought a second home on Maui. We bought a yacht. We were going on worldwide luxury travels, and we were out of the day-to-day operations. And the business kept growing. We were carrying over 35,000 passengers a year between Alaska and Hawaii. And several years after we stepped out of actively running the business, we sold it to Alaska Airlines. And we had owned that business for 25 years. And then we went on to create several other successful businesses after that. Now, at this stage of my life, I don't really need to start another business. But I was encouraged by our daughters to follow my passion, which is to teach entrepreneurs how to do what we did. Because I hate seeing entrepreneurs struggling with too much work on their shoulders and no time to spend with friends and family or to take care of themselves or enjoy them. So I started yet another business, Ral West, Living the Dream. My first step was to identify what it was that enabled us to accomplish the operator to owner transition. And the answer was 6 principles. And these were the foundation of our success. The first was to create simple systems. Now, you have to have systems to run a business, particularly if you want it to be beyond just your own abilities. And then you have to measure and track your performance. You need to have the data and have reports. And we were able to keep track of the business from wherever we were in the world because of these regular reports with all the data. And then you need to use leverage to save time. You need to be able to delegate to your team and have the team carry on what you want them to be doing. And you need to use automation. At one point, instead of relying on staff to answer the phone to take reservations, we decided to invest in automation. We had a software company create an online reservation system for us, and that changed the face of our business dramatically. And you need to pay attention to your culture. Your culture includes your values, your principles, how you want the company to be guided. And you need to build those principles and values into your team. Build your team, a strong team with alignment. And to create alignment, you give them incentives. We had a philosophy of win-win, and we proved it is when we won, they won. And it showed up in their pockets in terms of some really nice monetary bonuses. And lastly, you must define your service standards. You know, our customers were our number one priority, and we emphasize that throughout our organization. Without our customers, we wouldn't exist. And we wanted to not only satisfy our customers, we wanted to delight them. We were dependent on repeat business, so we wanted to make sure that they would be happy to come back again and again and again. Now, these 6 principles are like a 6-legged stool. You can't just set it and forget it. You know, it's not a one and done. So you have to keep working your, what I call my organized to optimize framework. And this is what you keep guiding your business with these principles. And I use these principles and this framework to create an online course. And it has 8 modules featuring all 6 of my principles. And these are the things that really enabled us to succeed in building a business that we could step away from and let our team run for us, and they can work for any business too. So at this point, I realized that I could only truly fulfill my purpose by reaching more people with my message. So then I launched a mastermind program called BOSS, Business Owner Success Strategies. It's a year-round entrepreneurial mentoring program. And in it, I teach business owners how to run their business and enjoy the life that they want. Because I feel passionately that business owners should not be owned by their business. It must be the other way around. Businesses need to be created in a way that they can support the life we want to create. I talk about this entrepreneurial journey of ours in my chapter in the new book, Leadership, Inspiring Women Leading with Purpose, which I hope you will buy. In my chapter, I talk about how it took me a while to find my true purpose, and that now that I've found it, I'm determined to live in alignment with it. If something comes along that's not aligned with my purpose, I won't do it. I get to choose, and so do you. So go follow your passion and live on purpose. Thank you very much. Are there any questions?
That was fantastic. I love it. I love it. First of all, congratulations on all the success. Can you pull your slide share, your screen share down?
Sure.
Yeah, there we go. First of all, congratulations on all the successes you've had. That's amazing. I'm listening to your story and thinking about like how much I love both Hawaii and Alaska, and then how much fun it would be to help people to go from one place to the other to the next, right? So does anybody have any questions for Ralph first? And I did drop the pictures of the two pictures that you had there where you talked about the 6 principles and then the one with the map on it. I dropped them in there. I think that those are great pieces of information to help us to grow our businesses. And so let me ask you, during the process of going from that, I don't remember exact words you termed, but
The
being
operator.
being tied to your business, right? Tied to it so
Yes.
much that you worked yourself into a job. Like we hear this saying all the time, entrepreneurs, they think that it's going to create freedom, but what it ends up doing is it creates us to be stuck, or married to that job so much that we don't do
Yes.
anything else. And so
Correct.
how long did it take you to get from that place of that realization to actually, your business thriving to the point where you guys are not spending so much time in it?
5 years.
And what would you say during
So,
that 5 years was the most important lesson you learned, or the first thing you did when you had that realization?
well, we recognized that we had to build a strong team. And to do that, you need all of these principles. You need to develop systems, which starts off with just documenting what everybody does, making sure that everybody has a specific job description and created job manuals for every position. And we had to create training systems because there was at one point in our business where we were so busy and the phones were ringing off the hook, and I was interviewing somebody to be a new sales agent. And I just said, there's a phone, answer it, take a booking. And, that was not exactly the great training model that we wanted to have. So we morphed from that into developing a 2-week training program where we would have a cohort of new sales agents, and we would put them through 2 weeks of training, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and taught them all about the culture of the business and the systems and about Hawaii and what our products were, and taught them how to take reservations and how to use our in-house reservation system that we had at that time. And so that was a huge progress. So this is how you start. You just start small with writing down what everybody does, and then you grow it into bigger and more sophisticated systems like our training program. And so that was huge. And working on our culture, I learned a lot in my
Mm,
college curriculum about organizational culture, and we used that in our company, and it served us very, very well. In fact, we
that's
called our team the Ohana, which means family in Hawaiian. And it's been 18 years since we sold the business. They still call themselves the Ohana, and we still have reunions.
that's so cool. I love it. You just, you created that culture, and everybody, like, people are more likely to stick around if you create a culture that they want to be part of. So yeah, we're in the
They do.
process right now of doing our SOPs, and each different task, and creating the SOPs for it. And it's harder than I thought it would be. It's way harder. And I think a lot of it is because, for example, when I've done doing something, I don't think about it as that, oh, there's a process there. So how do you get your mindset into that place of saying, this is a process and that I can teach somebody, and I need to put it into like a written form and or video form to train people? How do you get to that
Right.
place?
Well, you kind of have to train yourself to do it because it takes a mindset shift. And so anytime you're doing a task, you have to think to yourself, oh, could I be teaching somebody else how to do this same task? So there's a concept called duplicating yourself. You have to figure out how to duplicate yourself. And that even includes decision making. How do you make important decisions? Like there was a time my marketing team wanted to know how I knew when to increase advertising. So I figured out what metrics I
Mm.
used to make that decision. Then I could teach them, then they could make that decision without me.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, just like thinking, how having them learn how to think like you think
Mhm.
is what it sounds like. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
This is fantastic. I know you have a free gift as well, right? So a lot of our speakers here do have free gifts, and your free gift is, where is it? I'm finding here a free
I think it's,
call. Yeah, get on
yes.
a free call with Raul,
Yeah.
and you get
Yeah.
that call and see how
Talk to
she,
me.
yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that. So hopefully everybody will take advantage of that. You can get your free gifts by going to actiontakerspublishing.com/summit gifts. Head on over there and see what all the speakers have to offer. Raul, thank you so much for your talk today. And you've inspired me to really, really think about like all those steps that I take and how I can, learn to delegate them and or to create them into a system or those SOPs so that we can grow our business, because we have big goals. We have big goals here at Action Takers Publishing. So we got to get started on that immediately, if
Great.
not sooner.
Great. And I'd love to help you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Linda. Bye.
Oh, that was such a great talk.